Okay, I'm just giving a quick overview of the current state of the firmware for the Dilbert badge. This is running the latest firmware, which has the application manager on it. So there's several applications on here. The first one is actually the menu that's running. That can be anything really. It's whenever it starts, it loads whatever application was registered first. So I just use that to add a menu. Profile, that's just something I did that was relatively similar to what I had on the 2014 EMF Tilde. Was with the ability to rotate it this time though. To exit an application, you long hold the B button for, I think it's in the code it's 0.8 seconds. With the way that the buttons are being pulled at the moment, it's probably around close to a second. This is using polling versus polling for the inputs rather than the interrupt based method. There's no reason why the interrupt shouldn't work. It's just I've had to remove the bridge from the interrupt pin just because I was having problems flashing the firmware since the interrupt for the shift register is the transmit pin of the UART. I think it's one of the pins of the UART. So that's pretty much the firmware at the moment. These are the ones that are just demo applications, and they also test each of the buttons. Yeah, I haven't had many problems with it so far. One thing I may add, depending on how many applications end up getting put onto it, is a option to release memory that's been allocated by applications. As it works at the moment, an application only reserves its memory when it's run for the first time, but once it's reserved that memory, it keeps it until the badge is restarted. I can't see that being a problem with the ESP8266, as it has quite a bit of, I can't remember exactly, but it has quite a bit of memory. So it shouldn't have a problem keeping things in memory for its for the amount of time the badge will be on for. One other issue is there's no paging on this menu, so as it is, you could probably only add 8 or so before they'd start running off the page. Again, that's a fairly simple fix. I'll probably do that when it actually becomes a problem. But as it is, that's the latest firmware. I did do a proper test, and actually that's a 240. I did a test with the 380 milliamp hour batteries that you can get for things like the Hubsan X4 and such. It runs for about an hour, between an hour and an hour and a quarter, something like that. It depends. It varies depending on the battery. But yeah, so as a result, I'll probably just use the battery from the last Tilde, which I can't actually see the capacity of. Yeah, I'm not sure what capacity that is, but that one should probably run it for quite a bit anyway. And I'll probably use this for the Tilde. I have run a Tilde on this and on the 380 milliamp hour ones, and they last about 2.5 hours. But I did pretty much have this have the microcontroller asleep with the backlight off, so it really wasn't doing much to last that long. The state of the ESP8266 when I've been measuring the power consumption of it has also been with the it's had the Wi-Fi in one of the, I can't remember which level of sleep it is, but it wasn't active, but it wasn't off either. It's the it's sort of the middle, the middle amount of power consumption it can have. And the display I've had on full backlight. I've had the backlight at full brightness and the NeoPixels all off. I haven't tried it with all the NeoPixels on. I can imagine that would probably be too much for the 3.3 volt regulator. But as it is, it seems to be working fine. Another small issue I have noticed with it is that if you are holding it like this and you have your hand over the I2C expansion pad, or possibly a couple of the wires around here that carry the I2C, I've noticed it mainly on because I've got the header sold on. But if you have your hand on there, and it can cause errors on the I2C bus, which stop the buttons working. And that seems to pretty much any time it's happened, it's required a power cycle to fix. Just reset doesn't seem to fix it. But again, it is something that only needs a power cycle, so it's not a huge problem. It's just a minor annoyance. Okay, well, if anybody wants to look at doing code for this now, it's pretty much ready to add your own things to it. Okay, thanks for watching.